On the beach at Cabo Branco, a red rose lies stuck in the sand. It's an offering to the goddess Iemanjá, the Queen of Waters. I'm not a follower of the Afro-Brazilian Candomblé religion myself, but the moment I step onto the palm-fringed beach and then into the warm water of the Atlantic Ocean, I also feel like leaving an offering to Iemanjá, to thank her. After all, it is New Year's Day and everyone at home is freezing their butts off, whereas here it's 32 degrees and sunny. Isn't that something to feel grateful for? I'm in João Pessoa, the capital of the state of Paraíba. Most people associate Brazil with the crowded beaches of Rio or smog-choked, sprawling São Paulo. But the Nordeste is a different story. Life is simpler here, more relaxed, and the streets are safer. And the weather is just perfect. João Pessoa is actually something of a well-kept secret, considering that I don't encounter a single foreign tourist, apart from a couple of Argentinians, for the entire 2 weeks I'm there. Only 750,000 people live in João Pessoa, but the city is very spread out. As a visitor, you're likely to gravitate around two areas, the Old Town and Tambaú Cabo Branco. I first head down to Old João Pessoa. My Uber driver drops me off at the Lagoa Park, where I try to ignore the threatening but ultimately fast-moving clouds all around. From the Lagoa, I head to the busy Praça Vidal de Negreiros, dominated by the interesting Paraíba Palace building. Here, street vendors sell fruit that I've never seen before, and old people sit in the shade watching the world go by. From here, the Centro Cultural São Francisco is only a few minutes away. This religious complex, completed in 1591, is the Baroque masterpiece of the city, and the largest Baroque monument in Latin America. To my delight, I get to enjoy the sun-drenched entrance to the church completely alone. Anywhere else, a monument like this will be packed with tourists. But there is more than just Baroque in João Pessoa. The Old Town boasts a mix of architectural styles, including, to my surprise, Art Deco. Embodying this eclectic approach to architecture, besides the Casarão dos Azulejos, is the Hotel Globo, a 1929 building that is today home to a cool art gallery. From the terrace in the back, I take in the view of the São João River, and for a second, I feel like I'm in the middle of the rainforest. Where I'm staying, in Cabo Branco, is a whole other world. This is clearly an affluent area, as suggested by the many high-rises, luxury apartments and swanky restaurants. Looking in the direction of Tambaú from the southern end of the beach, you could be excused for thinking you're in Miami or on Australia's Gold Coast. It turns out that a stroll down the seafront, or better yet, the beach, early in the morning or late in the afternoon is one of life's great pleasures, especially if accompanied by a delicious coconut water. By the seafront in Tambaú, you can check out the Feirinha do Artesanato, a must if you want to buy some handicrafts. Tambaú is a great place to grab a bite to eat and to buy tickets for the excursions to one of the many natural pools off the city's coast. I decide to head out to Pesquisinho one day. The views of the city are spectacular, but I'm honestly not impressed with the insane number of boats. Maybe I'll have better luck next time at Areia Vermelha. I'm much happier checking out the lighthouse at Ponta das Sejas, just south of Cabo Branco beach, to mark my presence in a geographically meaningful place. Yes, I'm a geek. You see, João Pessoa lies at the easternmost point of the Americas, and every day it is the first place on the continent to welcome the sun. The Nordeste is huge, and of course I don't have the time to visit it all, but there are a couple of places I just don't want to miss. I'm talking about the cities of Recife and Olinda, 2 hours south of João Pessoa in the neighboring state of Pernambuco. Recife is the 4th largest urban area in Brazil and the largest in the Northeast, not to mention an economic powerhouse. In the days of colonization, its wealth was built on the super lucrative sugar trade. In the early 1600s, 121 mills were operational here, churning out sugar to satisfy the sweet tooth of Europeans. This white gold even caused a war. In 1630, the Dutch snatched the city from the Portuguese and proceeded to run it for a quarter century. Recife is a city of islands, canals and bridges, which is why it is nicknamed the Brazilian Venice. Let the record show that as a proud Italian I politely object to this moniker. It's interesting to think though that Recife, once capital of Dutch Brazil, and Amsterdam, the current-day Dutch capital, share the same close relationship with water. This becomes clear the second I reach the city center. The colorful square known as Marco Zero, so called because it's from here that all the distances in the state of Pernambuco are measured, is right by the water. From here, you can hop on a tiny boat to reach the Parque das Esculturas Francisco Bernard, a local sculpture. There are 100 of his works on display here, some of them quite monumental. If it wasn't for the sun beating down on me mercilessly, I would stay longer to enjoy the views of the city on one side and the ocean on the other. But I need some shade. I find it in the Embaixada do Pernambuco, home to the bonecos gigantes. These giant, somewhat creepy dolls are a unique feature of the carnival in nearby Olinda and represent local and international celebrities, as well as famous figures from the Candomblé religion. As I walk around Old Recife, I find something very charming in its waterways, its busy streets and elegant buildings. But when it comes to charm, there is no doubt, Olinda, just a few kilometers to the north, one-ups Recife. This UNESCO-listed town is easily one of the most beautiful in Brazil. It is framed by the ocean and packed with Baroque churches and colorful houses. The picture-perfect Alto da Sé is the heart of Old Olinda. Here, you can shop at the crafts market and, of course, visit the cathedral, though I will dare to say that the best thing about it, worth alone the time, is the view from the east-facing terrace. If you're after something a little more impressive art-wise, look no further than the Convent of San Francisco, with its stunning panels of Portuguese tiles decorating the cloister. Also, don't miss the São Bento Monastery with its altar leafed in gold. Olinda is a place to slow down and enjoy some good food and quaint corners. Beware its steep streets, like the infamous Slope of Mercy. Back in Paraíba, I decide to head south of João Pessoa to explore the most famous beach in the area, and I'm so glad I do. When I reach Praia de Coqueirinho, which is said to be the best beach in the state, I find myself in a postcard. This long beach has palm trees, sand that feels like flour, and warm water. The best part is that as soon as I leave the main area, where people enjoy the shade of 1,000 palm trees, the beach is entirely empty for hundreds of meters. This is hands down one of the most incredible places I've been to, and it's best appreciated from the Mirante do Dedo de Deus. Praia de Tabatinga is next door, and with its majestic reddish cliffs, it turns out to be another amazing stop. Surprisingly, I have it all to myself. My time in the Nordeste is coming to an end, and I want to properly say goodbye to this wonderful land. And what better place to do that than Praia do Jacaré, the river beach known for its magical sunsets. Every evening, as the sun disappears behind the horizon, locals flock here to see musician Jurandir play Ravel's bolero on his saxophone from a boat sailing up and down the river. This is a beloved local tradition, and I feel so lucky I get to experience it tonight. During the show, I look around the crowd of smiley faces, and I realize that what makes this part of Brazil so special is its warm, fun-loving people.